Now today we'll talk about learning outcome B. Learning outcome B. Learning outcome B. This is more on budgeting. The entire learning outcome talks about budgeting process of organization. Now, what exactly is budgeting? When we get pocket money, we do budgeting. Where we spend? Should we spend on KFC, or should we keep the money saved with us for the next month? So this type of questioning attitude, this type of planning, this type of coordination between mind and heart, this type of thing is called budgeting. In business terms, budgeting is planning of future, or rather we can say near future. Budgeting of near future. Its associated costs and benefits which it can derive from business operations. Which it can derive from business operations. It enables business owners to concentrate on the cash flow. See, with the budgeting, where you are where you are comparing, or where you are taking into account the cost and benefits. Benefits means revenue. Revenue means money. Money means cash. Now, if suppose a cash is coming in, you will not definitely, as a businessman, would keep it idle. You will try to further invest either in business itself or investment. A budget is a plan to control the finances of the business. It ensures that business functions can fund its current commitments, enables the business to meet its objectives. Obviously, you can plan your finances properly. You can check whatever is the cash flow. You can deviate those cash flows, that put that cash flows in the right direction. You can fund your commitments. So suppose you have to give some money back to somebody who was your creditor, you through that cash you can give it back. So this is what is budgeting. You are planning things in advance. Make sure that business has money for future projects. Obviously, the money came today and you spent everything, and for the future projects you are not left with any cash flow. That is also wrong. That is also taken care by a budgeting plan, which means the entire in and out of the business, money coming in and going out, is taken care well in advance, so that future operations can go on smoothly. This process is called budgeting process. Another benefits of budgeting is it estimates revenue. If you estimate the revenue, you ensure the money is available. Obviously, it would be easy to estimate it. It will be easy to keep the business going, to sustain the business for a longer period of time. This is the importance of budgeting in any organization. Say, let's move to the steps of budget process. You remember we had talked about various resources in any organization. What are those? Technical, funds means financial, and human resource. Now, if you link each of them, a technical resource also require money. So if you want to buy some machinery for your organization, obviously you have to spend money on it. If you hire people for your organization, obviously you should have enough cash to pay salaries, right? Means if you see, finance is one thing which is very much required. For the other resources also finance is required. So all the resources in the organization are somewhere connected to finance. So the first step in our business or business budgeting process is assess your financial resources. Try to find out what are your financial resources, from where the money is coming, from where you are trying to get the money, what is the source of income, what is the source of revenue generation. That needs to be calculated well in advance. The second step is, I'll write out the first step for assess not other resources, only financial resources. Means inflow of the resource. Second is determine the expenses. Obviously, if money is coming in, you are running a business, you have to spend also. So determine the expenses of the business. Expenses, also the cost of the business. The third important step for budgeting process is set goals. Obviously, you cannot keep spending the money like a water. You have to keep a hold on your money. So that for holding that money, to keep hold on that money, you have to set the targets and goals for costing, for expenses. The fourth one is you need to create a plan. This is called budgeting. You have to create a plan. How do you want to spend your money? On what things you want to spend your money? For example, once you figured out how much money is coming in and where it is going, you put together a plan that matches your goals with your financial situation. Every organization we have already studied in previous units has a vision. Vision is their dream they want to achieve. Keeping that dream in mind, they have to create plan with the help of available resources, available financial resources. Okay, and then you have to disseminate the plan. Means every person in the department, every person in the factory, or every person in the business should know the overall plan or target, followed by tracking the process, the progress. Now what progress you will track? Suppose you have thought of spending 200,000 dirhams, 200,000 rupees in something, and instead of that you end up spending 250,000, which means you spent something in negative. 50,000 more you spent on the desired expenditure. This is what is tracking the progress. You have to keep tracking so your budget, so that you don't exceed it. This is not acceptable by any organization, which means if suppose the company does not have 250,000, they will go into a debt situation. They have to take either loan from somewhere, or they have to increase their current liabilities, which means taking small short term loans from bank or from near relatives or from somewhere else. So it is important to track your budget so that this situation does not arise. This is the process of budgeting. Now there are different types of budgets. The different types of budgets are revenue budget, cost budget or expenditure budget, sales budget, department wise budget, production budget, labor budget, cash budget, so on and so forth. And combination of all this is master budget. Now revenue budget, say suppose I am standing in year 2022. Now how the planning process starts? In 2022, by the end of November or October, people will start budgeting process. The organization, the bigger the organization, the more early it will start the budgeting process. So maybe on an average October, November, the organization starts their budgeting processes. Now what they will do, they try standing in month of October, they will try to find out what revenue they can earn. Next year. And this is not a random figure. This is not the random figure. It comes when they see the history, they see the trends going on, they also see the economical condition, they also see various rules and regulations in place, which are new ones, Also they see, is there any upcoming event which can elevate or surge the budget of the revenue of the organization. Based on all these factors, means history, past revenues from 5 to 10 years, trends which is going on, economy how it is going, what are the rules, are there any laws which are the upcoming laws which will subside the sales of my product. All these are the checklist which needs to be taken into consideration while I form my revenue budgeting. Similarly with sales budget, revenue and sales are not much of difference, but sales is pure operational revenue, while revenue is operational and investment both. Operational and investment both. What is cost budget then? You are earning revenue, you are doing sales, but obviously there has to be a budget which is expenditure budget. So though that budget which includes expense is cost budget or expenditure budget. Similarly, there is another budget which is production budget. Say suppose this is a manufacturing company, they produce biscuits. Now how many batches needs to be produced in the coming year, what would be the cost of raw material, all will come in production budget. So till here we have already discussed now only departmental wise project budget is left, that I will do in 2 minutes time. Labor budget, again labor budget is a budget wherein you are paying, obviously if you are making or producing something, you have to have labor. In case you are paying the money to the labor, this will come, and when you forecast it for the next year, it will become labor budget. Cash budget, what right now you are trying to forecast what will be the incoming and what will be the outgoing of the project. What can be the incoming and what can be the outgoing of the business. When there is another important budget which is called department budget. As you all know, we have our organizations, or especially the bigger ones, have different departments like IT department, like operations department, like finance department, like sales, like marketing. Now each of these departments are endorsed with certain functions or activities. IT has certain activities, operations has certain activities, finance has certain activities, sales has certain activities, market has certain. Now if these activities are not done free, obviously if people are there, you have to pay in the salaries of people. If some sort of IT equipments needs to be purchased, that will also be a part of IT cost. Things like printers, everything which is purchased will come under IT cost. So when, or any sort of development cost which is a smaller development will also come under IT cost, smaller or bigger. When everything related to IT is calculated, every requirement of IT is calculated and total is taken out, the total thing will be called IT budget. This is how you prepare your departmental budgets. So each department in short has its own budget which it has to foresee before the start of next year and then demand money from the organization. how do you prepare your master budget? Master budget, production, revenue, cash, expense, labor, etc. When you collate all these budgets, it becomes your master budget. There are alternative ways to make budgets also. This was a real traditional budgeting process. There are few concepts, new concepts in budgeting. The first one is zero based budgeting. It's a budgeting approach that involves developing a new budget every time. So zero based budgeting. Zero, the word zero means if you are in 2022 right now and you are creating a budget of 2023, you will assume everything is zero. You will start checking out each activity in the business, each cost center in the business, and keep finding out what is the requirement, how much is the requirement, and why the requirement is. Means you start from scratch every time you prepare your budget, and your previous budget has no influence on your current year budget. Everything you are thinking, which means you are not preferring or you are not relying on what happened in the history. You are not taking into consideration historical data. So that type of budgeting is called zero based budgeting. Zero based budgeting is a method of budgeting in which all the expenses must be justified for each new period. As I said, each expenses should be justified for every new period you are entering. So from 2022, when you are entering 2023, you will not see any trend from 2022. You will make a new cost budgeting for 2023 irrespective of what happened in 2022. So there is no influence of previous year's budget on the next year budget in terms of zero based budgeting. Another type of alternative approaches of budgeting is rolling budget. It is just opposite to zero based budgeting. The budget keeps on rolling as if it is continually updated to add a new budget period as the most recent budget period is completed. So suppose I am in the 12th month, means I am in the December month. This is rolling budget. December month. In December month, I will again get a budget, means money, for next 6 months. After 6 months, again I will get it for another 6 months. So this budgeting process keeps on rolling. Means for when you start initially with the start of business, you don't separate one period with the another period. The entire budget keeps on rolling period on period, means year on a year it keeps on rolling. Okay, so this type of budget is called rolling budget, also known as continuous budget. Here you need to add a new budget period at the end of most recent budget period, means there is no separate thing, it is rolling on and on. Another type of costing method or budgeting method is activity based costing. Activity based costing. Activity based costing is the system that records, researches and analyzes the activities of the organization that leads to cost for a company. Every activity in the organization that incurs a cost is scrutinized for its potential. So suppose I want to buy 10,000 units of raw material. For producing it further, I need to check whether it is worth buying or not. Will it give me enough revenue or not? Means for me, buying of a raw material is an activity. I need to keep checking that activity, whatever activities are there in the organization, it are being processed properly. This means they have that thing in it, so that it create efficiencies for business, that create money for the business rather than cost for the business. The activity based budgeting, also known as ABB budgeting, is broken out into three parts, three steps. Identify relevant activities, determine the number of units related to each activity and delineate the cost per unit. Means production is one activity of a unit is an activity. You have to identify this activity, then you have to find out what are the number of units what you need to purchase. So say suppose I need to purchase 10,000 units to prepare this 1 unit of product. Then delineate it, then find out cost each unit. This costing, when it will come, it will be costing for production activity of a unit. I hope you have understood this. With that, you will be able to find out cost per unit, and when you multiply it by activity level, it will give you overall budgeting. Okay. I would request you all, while you practice this, you try to go to see how the master budget is prepared. This is the homework for all of you. You need to check it at home, how master budget is prepared. You'll get to know everything about the budget if you go through how master budget is prepared. Then comes concept of responsibility center. The next concept is responsibility center. Responsibility center is a functional entity within a business that has its own goals and objectives, dedicated staff, policies and procedures. Means I'll tell you, if suppose there is a company like Unilever, so it produces shampoo, it produces soaps, it produces sanitizers. Now if you see, each one of them is a separate responsibility center. Each one of them has its own production, own revenue, own cost, their own net profits, This is treated as responsibility center. Each one of them will be treated as a separate responsibility center. Now, there are 4 types of responsibility center. The first one is cost center. Second, first one is cost center. The second one is revenue center. Third, profit center. And fourth, investment center. Okay. Now, a cost center is an expense center and is a segment of the organization in which managers are held responsible. So, for a shampoo department, there is a manager who is held responsible for the cost center. Whatever cost, so suppose department wise or responsibility center wise, the budget is allocated to them. So, suppose budget of 200 million is given to shampoo as a center. Now, it is the responsibility of the head of this responsibility center to check whether the costs are within the limits or not. So, the whatever is forecasting, actuals are as per the limits or not. The next is revenue center. Whatever is the revenue of the business. So, for example, for the cost center, I am giving you an example. Suppose a manager of a manufacturing plant organized a cost center may treat individual departments within the plant as separate cost centers. So, even within this, you can have a different departments, they will have a different cost center. Now, at the end of the year, each one of them will give how much of the money they have spent, because it's a cost center. So, what they have spent will taken into consideration. Now, it is the responsibility of each department's manager to see that the target, the budget which was given to them, their actuals does not exceed that budget. This is how the budgeting is used in responsibilities centers. Profit center, they take into, so cost center only consider cost, revenue center only consider revenue. Now, what is revenue center? So, revenue center is a segment of organization which is primarily responsible for generating sales. So, the sales department of any company is the revenue center of that company. Obviously, it's a call center also, but it's a, now in case of revenue center, all the activities, all the emphasis is on the revenue part of it, on the revenue part of the organization. It takes in, so it's taking one thing into consideration, cost, this is taking sales into consideration, and this is taking in sales and cost both into consideration. And investment center only checks the investment. So, investment center is responsible for both profit and investments. The investment center manager has to control over revenue, expenses and amount invested in the assets. So, it takes into consideration cost, revenue and investment in the assets. This is the overall concept of cost center. I have attached one link with all of you, for all of you, and you can go through it to understand the depth of each of the cost center. This is the way the cost center or revenue center or investment center, profit center is taken into consideration. Then comes last but not the least, budgetary planning, how you plan your budget. So, the main part of the budget is variance analysis. Once you completed with your budget preparation, the next step comes is execution. So while doing execution, operational execution on the day-to-day basis, managers, they keep control on budget. And how do they do it? Continuously keep seeing what is the budget allocated versus budget actuals versus actuals. So completed, once the budget preparation is completed, execution takes place. Budget is allocated budget is compared with actuals. In case budget amount is less than actuals, then it is positive variance. If the budget amount is greater than actual, it is negative variance. This is how variance analysis is done. So budget controlling can be achieved through budget controlling can be achieved through two things. First is budget analysis can be controlled through budget controlling can be done through two things. First, keep check on spent on a daily basis. Second, do variance analysis. For big companies, it is always suggested to keep doing it on a monthly basis. In my previous company, we used to do it on a monthly basis. Now, question comes, how do you prepare your budget? I will show you exactly one of the budget, how does it get prepared. So budget amount, you will say particulars, and let's say it is raw material budget. Okay, so product A, product B, product C, product D is a raw material. Number of units, it will come here. Then amount budgeted. So say suppose the budgeted amount for A material is 100,000 Indian rupees. For B, say 200,000 Indian rupees, C 300,000 Indian rupees, D 400,000 Indian rupees. Actual spent, say it is 100. Now then we will see what is actual spent, 120,000. Say that it is 180,000. Say it is 180,000. This is 250,000 and 400,000 is 400,000. Same. Now if you see budget minus actual, it will give me variance. So budget minus actual is 100 minus, so this is be negative 20,000. This will be positive 20,000. This will be positive 50,000 and this will be 0. Now when I find out overall variance, it will come as positive 50,000. I cannot be happy seeing I have less spent. Also, that is true that the budget which I have formed is giving me positive variance. It is giving me that I have spent well within the budget, but it is always recommended to see what number of units were budgeted and what number of actuals was spent. Apart from that, you have to go inside it again to check why this 20,000 is negative, why a person or why the manager overspent by 20,000, and what is the reason of company getting positive 50,000 variance, which is almost 16.67% of the entire budget, which means somewhere it may happen that we are over budgeting material C. So it is very important to go into each and every aspect of variance analysis to analyze if there is any problem, the problem behind the negative variance or the actual reasoning behind the positive variance. So with this, our budgetary control has finished. Thank you very much.